And we are live.
Hey, hey, hey. What's up, big
Oh, we back again. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to another episode of the Gentleman of Crypto episode. What episode is this? I don't even know. 1279.99. Today is Tuesday, January 14th, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. ish. And today's top story is not many, unfortunately, as we wait for this inauguration, but Bitcoin bull Tom Lee sees Bitcoin reaching as high as 250,000 by year end. If you know who Tom Lee is, you understand why that's the top story of the day. Jamie Dimon still sees no value in Bitcoin. Senator Warren urges Trump's Treasury pick to consider stricter crypto regs. NYDFS launches exchange program with Bank of England on crypto expertise. And China may sell TikTok to Musk if U.S. ban goes through, is being reported. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these Bitcoin and cryptocurrency prices on the day. All right, let me go ahead and load up this coin market cap. You already know that's where I usually go. And by usually, I'm talking like 12,000, 1,200 episodes. That's where I've been going to get the price news. So we're gonna keep there today. I was just talking while I got this little window popped up in the back. All right, Bitcoin is coming in hot, $96,645. It's saying it's only up 5% right now, but a few minutes ago it was up about 6.23%. I just want to I don't even know the word I'm about to say. Re-edify. I don't even know. I just want to say what I said yesterday, and that's your 10% right here, okay? I want to repeat what I said yesterday. The 10% was basically right here. I said it was baked in if you went ahead and bought it yesterday. You up about 6 or 7% today. It's showing 5% because it dipped down a little bit. But essentially, that is that 10%. This is how you trade Bitcoin. Everyone always asks me, how do you trade Bitcoin? How do you do it? This is how you do it. When I say things like yesterday, like, hey, we're at 90,000, 92,000, we're going back to 100K. That is your time to go long. You margin trade, you leverage it. You get more Bitcoin back than when you originally had. And then the next day, 24 hours later, you're up 6%. You see how that works. Ethereum, $3,208, up 5%, 5.12%, I guess. Ripple, $2.58, up 5.3%. Solana at number 6, $187, up 6.3%. Dogecoin number 7 at 35 cents, up 8.8%. And number 10 is Tron at 22 cents, up 1.28%. Fear and greed index is even lower. As I just said, how you trade Bitcoin, how you make more Bitcoin. The fear and greed index is even lower, is at a 46. Bitcoin dominance is at a 57.27%, and Ethereum dominance is at 11.5. So again, it's crazy to see that we're at $96,000 and the fear and greed index is super low. People are still saying, hey, is the market shakeout? Something's wrong. Like, that's absolutely insane. And again, this is actually good news to see. But what's the word I'm looking for? Somebody let me know in the chat. That's why I just say what's up to the chat. That's probably why I don't know the word. Was it reedify? What's the word I'm trying to think about right now? Bitcoin Shango, what's going on? Saber Saves, Hyben 17, Kaniz, Martin, Antonio, Sunny. Let's see. Audio good, voice good. But yeah, listen, I was up an hour early today, making sure I had everything good for the audio. And everything was good to go with the soundboard. Because I just wanted the world to know. Oh, that's the wrong one. It mixed up on me. It's mixed up on me. Here we go. Hold on.
We're not gonna take it.
There it is. You got to let the world know we are not going to take it. Buy the dip, folks. Buy the dip. Learn to leverage trade. That is how you make make additional Bitcoin or make money in these market cycles where we're kind of in the bull cycle. We're going sideways, but it's not a lot of volatility and not strong dips. 6 to 10% is an awesome dip when it comes to Bitcoin when you're actually trying to trade it. So again, that's one of the many ways you can do it. I will be doing that more in the Discord. Hopefully by the end of this month, I'll be prepped to really go full speed with it. Reiterate. There we go. Reiterate, man. It's an early morning over here for me. I'm over here. Listen, I got fire on my mind, folks. I will not lie to you. The only thing that's been on my mind right now has been fire. That's kind of why I've been leery about doing these morning shows. I don't want to get no notification mid-show that says evacuate, all right? And right now we're under a red flag or whatever they're saying, black flag or red notice until they said initially this afternoon, but it looks like it's going to go until this evening. And a new fire just started today. So, or early this morning, a new fire. So that's all I'm thinking about. I'm sorry. My words is all jacked up. All right, top story of the day. Got to talk about this. Oh man, it's actually pretty funny that CoinDesk is running this story. Usually, we see this guy all over Cointelegraph. I don't know how he does it, with the exception of the only way he could be doing it, and that's to legitimately be paying these outlets like Cointelegraph and CoinDesk money to run his story. So this really should say a sponsored post. I don't know why it doesn't, because at this point, I've seen at least 15 different articles with Tom Lee predicting the price that is always absolutely wrong, 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 wrong. So for those who know who Tom Lee is, we don't even need to read this article. He's a guy from Fundstrat. He's the head of research. He always calls different Bitcoin and crypto prices, and he is always wrong. I won't say crypto, it's usually just Bitcoin, but he is legitimately wrong about 98% of the time. I will almost say he's more wrong than what's our boy Kramer. He's like on Kramer status when you talk about getting this thing wrong. So this actually scared me today when I saw this story, because I'm like, oh man, folks, this may be the local top. Whenever this guy gets to calling numbers, it may be the local top. Now, on a serious note, hopefully that isn't a local top. I am thinking he is wrong per usual. I do not see Bitcoin going to 250K by the end of this year. No way, no how. However, him being wrong could be wrong in the right direction, right? As long as we still hit that 120, 140 mark, we're in great shape. You know, I will get crazy. Maybe it could go to 250, because I'll say this: in 2017, we all saw Bitcoin going to 5,000. That was like a crazy number. When everybody was like 5,000, people look at you like, you think Bitcoin's going to five? Bro, is that 1,000? You think it's going to 5,000 this year? And everyone was like, by the year end, it's going to be at 5,000. And what happened by the year end? It was at 19,600, right? Like, we blew past the $5,000. So I'm not going to say it's like impossible for it to go from 100K to 250. I'm not saying that's impossible, but what I am saying is like it's literally not in the cards. The only thing that really changed in 2017 that we're not seeing here, that really was the impetus, was the ICO phase, right? We just did the ETFs. It'd be different if you were to say, this would be the year of ETFs starting at 100K. Then I can see it going to 250. But the only way, here it is. I can guarantee in my Chuck voice, the only way this thing goes to $250,000 is if a first world country decides to use Bitcoin as a reserve. Has to be a country, or I would say a large state. If Texas were to say Bitcoin is a reserve, California, Texas, Florida, we might see some movement in that direction, or another region around the world. But by and large, unless that's the theme of this year, the theme of this year has to be Bitcoin is a reserve now for countries. If that's the case, then yes, we will see 250. If that is not the case, we will not see 250. It's just from where, how? Like they're already using ETF portfolios. They have allocated from other directions. The only way we see that is if these institutions say, "Hey, last year we only did 5% of our portfolio exposure to Bitcoin ETFs and Bitcoin in general." The only way we see that 250 is that this year they say, hey, we're not going to go 5, we're going 15 to 20% of Bitcoin and ETF exposure. Now, we do see BlackRocks or those type of folks do that. You can see that price point, but I just don't see it happening that aggressive this soon. There's no reason to. Also, I keep saying this. I saw some of the pushback yesterday. I'm telling you, folks, this fire and insurance thing is crazy. We may be entering the Great Depression. You all are out of your minds if you don't think the rest of the United States is going to cover down on this. I know you don't want to. I'm not saying you should. And I think the incoming president might push back as far as the United States doing it. However, this is about to become too big to fail. I just don't see everybody in the nation saying, hey, good luck out there with the type of people that are in these locations. You got to remember the fire almost hit LeBron James' crib, folks. All right. Like LeBron, his team ain't going to be like, oh, I guess we don't need no help over here. No, they're going to get the help. I'm only saying all that because I do think this will affect the Bitcoin market as a whole after the traditional market is affected. Again, we still got another week or two to see what's going to happen next, but something is going to happen. This is a huge event right now, so we'll see. But by and large, Fundstrat, Tommy Lee, whoever his name is, Tom Lee, we don't know, need to go into detail. He's a hit of research. He called for the end of year target for Bitcoin between 200 and 250K. Short-term correction based on Fibonacci levels for Bitcoin as low as 70K. This is also how you know this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, because just off the top of my head without even doing TA, these numbers don't make sense. You don't get a low of 70K if you're looking at a high of 250K. You get a low of 70K if you're looking at a high of 120, 140K, which I've been saying for the longest now. So his numbers don't even make sense. Whoever is actually giving him his talking points and numbers are way off. Doesn't make a lot of sense unless he's saying right now at this level we could see a low of 70K. But if he again, these numbers just don't make sense. Unless he knows. I'm trying to scroll through this article. Like, does he know something we don't know? Is he like, oh, y'all ain't hear about BlackRock? What they doing in July? I don't know. Not sure how he got to this. He's saying, let's see. Let's see. Glassnode data shows that Bitcoin in this current cycle has seen relatively mild drawdowns from 15 to 20%. Previous market drawdowns saw as much as 30 to 50%, which is another reason why we're kind of due for one. Despite short-term collection, Lee thinks Bitcoin will be one of the standout assets for 25, remains bullish of end-of-year targets. Yeah, so of course, it's not a lot of information. I wouldn't expect it to be a lot of information because he's probably wrong once again. But hey, shout out to Tom Lee for always making it into the news. Jamie the Dino Diamond is back just in time for the soundboard. Can we give him a loud roar? I know it's 2 times. That is our dinosaur roar for Jamie the Dinosaur Diamond. I mean, this guy is still back in the day, back in the day. He is talking about Bitcoin is being used for sex trafficking, money laundering, and ransomware. Wow. Like, this is market manipulation to me. This is market manipulation. He's saying the main uses are for sex trafficking, money laundering, and ransomware. Here's my thing. He is saying that as a factual statement, and it can be factually disproven. So I do not understand how this is not market manipulation from a financial advisor, a banker, all these other things you can attribute to him at the level he's at. How is this not market manipulation? He is literally lying about the market and the asset. And what's even crazier is not us getting upset about it. I would expect BlackRock to come out in the next 24 to 48 hours and say, we don't know what the hell he's talking about. How can BlackRock be pushing a Bitcoin ETF, ETP product or products worth hundreds of millions, now billions of dollars, and you got your neighbor across the street saying, hey, man, that's only for ransomware and sex trafficking and everything else. Like, I, at this point, expect BlackRock to stand up and be like, yo, you need to calm down with this. This is absolutely insane. He is still mimicking this rhetoric. However, I will say this. Jamie the Dino Diamond is actually correct from a United States point of view. There is actually no value in Bitcoin. That should have been a headline. I almost made that the title for today. I should have did it. There really isn't that much value in Bitcoin when you're thinking about it from a traditional point of view. When you're saying, hey, I love banks, I love the system we already have, I love barriers to entry, I love competition so that others can't bank or be banked. You know, if you're homeless, you can't have a bank account. For someone who loves all these things, they don't see the value in Bitcoin. Bitcoin offers and adds transparency to governments and to individuals. If you're a person who hates transparency, if you love centralization, you don't want everyone to have a fair shake, then this is a correct and factual statement, which I will agree with. Not only Jamie the Diamond, but a lot of other Americans feel the same way as him. And I agree with them when you're looking at it from their paradigm. You're looking at it from their eyes. Bitcoin doesn't have value. They're already rich. They don't see why technology should be used to empower others. They don't see the point of transparency. They want to hide and keep doing. You remember, this is the same Jamie the Diamond whose shipment or ship that Chase owned, a mega ship, had what, over $1 billion of cocaine found in it, and then the story disappeared out the news within 24 hours. This is the same guy. So of course you would not want any type of transparency in your operation. So again, to these people, I fully understand and agree with them. Bitcoin has no value. That really should have been the title for that. I actually meant to make that the title. However, because of articles like this with Jamie the Diamond and the following articles, I essentially titled today United Foreigners of America. And the reason why is because it's essentially all these people who have foreign interests are trying to push back against our government right now. Now, shout out to the MAGA crowd. They actually called one of them boys out, which I will be discussing, and that is none other than Elon Musk. I told y'all he was just a dirty South African, and the MAGA crowd picked up on it too. They was like, oh, H1 visas, that must be that South African boy talking again. So I've already mentioned that. The MAGA crowd picked up on it, but I'm about to put it out there for everyone today. All these people, to me, are against America. They're treasonous to America, including Jamie the Diamond. All right. This JP Morgan Chase CEO, Jamie Dimon, continues to be an opponent of Bitcoin, even at 100K. At 100K. Wow. Talk about not wanting others to make money. Diamond said the largest cryptocurrency is used for sex trafficking, money laundering, and ransomware. And again, for those who don't know, you must understand that his company has also done things with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. So he's really just saying this to manipulate the market. And as it says here, he is consistent with his views. Bitcoin itself has no intrinsic value. He said in an interview with CBS News on Sunday, it is heavily used by sex traffickers, by money launderers, ransomware. So I just don't feel great about Bitcoin. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Similar to BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, Diamond was a longtime opponent of Bitcoin. Unlike Fink, who underwent a 180-degree reversal in his views a couple of years ago because he figured out he could manipulate the market to make money, Diamond has continued holding the same negative outlook, even as the bank he leads has profited off of Bitcoin's growing use as a financial product, including serving as an authorized participant for BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF. Hilarious. So he's offering the product and he's at the same time saying, all right, well, you know what? Here's my thing then too. If we can't get them on the market manipulation, then fine. We don't get him on the market manipulation. Let's get him on aiding and abetting crimes. Let's get him for aiding and abetting sex trafficking, money laundering, and ransomware. Because you can't on one hand say, hey, yeah, we're authorized participant for the Bitcoin ETFs, which will make Bitcoin more powerful and more valuable and more mainstream. But then on the other hand, say, but it's only for sex traffickers, money launderers, and ransomware. So you like all that stuff? You agree with this? Do you agree with these things? Because you're essentially enhancing the marketplace. You're enhancing the asset. So, I mean, make it make sense, people. Like, make it make sense. You can say, I don't agree with this over here. All these people are dirty criminals and everything else. However, I do run a taxi service to get these folks to and from their homes. Like, wait, what? Well, why would you do this? JP Morgan also recently rebranded its blockchain platform, formerly Onyx, to Kennedy as it aims to double down on real world tokenization. And something I want to point out is this: when you're the size of Chase and you have billions of dollars and all these resources, and you're rebranding your platform after a year or two or a few years, you have failed in Bitcoin and crypto as in general. You failed. You're not that good. You're not that educated. You're not that intelligent. You have failed. How can you be so big and already rebrand? Like, unless you're failing or scamming. I'm looking at you, crypto.com. But the size of JP Morgan Chase, 2 or 3 years, blockchain projects, which one has come to fruition? Which one has worked? And still, they're not ready to say, hey, everyone, we're wrong. We need the community's help. We need open source projects because they've only stolen the open source code for the most part to even begin building what they have. And then once they get to the point of where their open source code runs out of new ideals, then they're right back to where we started. And they're like, okay, I guess we need to rebrand and do something different. You aren't the sauce. You don't know what you're doing. I hate to see articles like this and people like this because not only is it anti-American, but it's also like just just human. He literally would rather go like see the ship sink than watch other people do well in a new market. Again, I get it. These are your enemies. Bitcoin is an enemy of the banks, but it's amazing to see him even in the like, I won't say this is the ninth inning, but definitely like in the sixth inning, this still be down by so many points and say, no, we're not losing. Everything's still good. It's absolutely crazy to see. And this is why this is the United Foreigners of America, because you better believe Jamie Dimon and his ilk would rather see a foreign country do well in this space than Americans, unfortunately. I mean, it's just terrible to see, but he's still on the same talking points. I will say that. Jake said people only sell drugs because the USA prints money. The cost of free market should be deflationary for everything, of course. Theater of Absurd says Jamie Dimon bank facilitated Epstein sex trafficking. Hey, that's why he don't want that Bitcoin, man. Oligarchs are speaking out of both sides of their mouths. You already know it. Yeah, JP Morgan had that boat full of dope. 5150 gamer, what up, though? JP Morgan was also fined for manipulating the price of silver. So that's my point. It's literally the evil villain talking about no. All that's used for crime. You know, again, I had to go back and agree with Jamie Dimon. I actually will agree with them. Bitcoin is probably used in a lot of those things, like he said, because he is the super villain. He would know. He's like, yo, I can tell y'all for a fact. Jamie Dimon is like, I can tell you for a fact. And that's maybe why he's not getting market manipulation. He's like, I know unequivocally that this is happening, that ransomware and money laundering and sex trafficking is happening with Bitcoin. I bet if we were to check Chase's books and check some of the things they were doing, some old emails, we will find that he is absolutely correct. And he and his team is probably the main people using it for those things. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. But Jamie the Diamond has done it again. All right. Who else do we got that's against the United States? We got Senator Elizabeth Warren. That's right. Someone who's actually has a political position. But yes, they are also against America. Senator Warren urges Trump's Treasury pick to consider stricter crypto regs. Now, was hilarious. Was it which one is Pocahontas? Is Senator Warren the Pocahontas one, or is that the two evil women I know and the Senator of Congress are Pelosi, whatever, and Warren. These are the two evil ones, if I remember correctly, off the top of my head, that keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. I don't know whose child's blood they're drinking for immortality, but they are here again, still talking. But I make all that to say, and let me know, is this the Pocahontas one? Elizabeth Warren, let me check the chat. Is Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas? The only reason I'm asking and I'm making that point is because isn't her and Trump beefing and been beefing for years now? You gonna come back around? Yeah, okay. She the fake engine. Somebody said, appreciate that. Like, her and Trump has been beefing. He coined you this nickname, and now you're gonna come back around like, oh, Trump, listen to me now. You don't want this crypto thing. Like, we need to reconsider our treasury pick and everything. This is what's happening behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, Elizabeth Warren and her cronies are trying to get every resource and deal they can make possible to present in front of Trump the day of the inauguration or the day before. They're trying to do everything. Hey, you know, we were just playing. We wanted you back. Here's a package of money. Here's some gold. Here's some Bitcoin. Here's this. Here's that. Here's everything you ever wanted. Please, just please, President Trump, don't do a treasury pick that likes crypto. It's too late. It is too late to cop deuces now. That's what that looked like to me. Copping please, copping deuces, whatever you want to call it, trying to be all friendly. Nah, 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 nah. Keep that same energy. One crypto executive speculates Warren's letter is a veiled attempt to justify an expansion of regulation against neutral crypto technology providers. Ooh, look at that. Oh, shout out to Cointelegraph. Awesome artwork right there. This is a woman who's, is she married? I mean, is she married? And if she is married, what's her husband? What's his deal? What's his deal? Does he got some I don't know. Does he have some charisma? Is he built? Is he because I mean I hate to go there, but it is clear someone is not being taken care of in every part of their life. When you come to the American people in the world with the vitriol and the disdain you have for others to make money, something ain't going right at home. That's all I'm going to say. But great picture of this Elizabeth Warren artwork by Cointelegraph. She's penned an open letter to U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's pick to lead the U.S. Treasury, urging him to evaluate stricter regulations and enforcement measures for digital assets if he takes office. What do you mean if? If I were Trump, I would pen an open letter back. And you all know I normally don't say this, but I will say this. If I was Trump, I would pen an open letter back, put it on X, give it to the New York Times, give it to Reuters, give it to everyone. And it will literally say this: Dear Elizabeth Warren, no, bitch, Trump. Like, what? We're not friends all of a sudden. What you tried to imprison me? You tried to take my money and my family away? You tried to take my position away, and now you coming around here asking me to do you a favor? Bruh, this is what I love seeing about like everything that's happening in politics in America. Folks, stop taking things so personal. For all you people who say all these people are racist and all this, no, they hate each other too. They hate each other just as much. They just don't have a good name to call each other. Like there's just a name with other minorities. They just don't have the name, but they hate each other just as much. Don't you worry. They have been built on hate. It's hate flowing through all them veins. All right. I love seeing this. Oh, I love seeing this. I love seeing this. And I love seeing this because I highly doubt it's going to happen. The only way this is going to happen is if she has that one last card to play that no one on the planet knew about President Trump that's just so damning. However, I do think they played every card that they have left to play. They played it on him. So I don't see this happening. I can't even believe she's asking for it to happen. But this is how you know you're actually like you're getting that tap on the shoulder and you got real bosses over you. Elizabeth Warren, she's clearly smart. She doesn't want to do this, more than likely, right? But what's happening is those bankers and everyone else is like, no, no, no. I don't care how stupid it looks. I don't care how bad it's going to sound. You are going to do what we put you in place to do. And here she is with the open letter. Hey, we got to change the Treasury Secretary. So on the surface, it makes no sense. But if you understand that she probably did get that tap on the shoulder and more people who are more powerful than her really put her feet to the fire, then this would make so much more sense because there is no possible way without third party intervention. She woke up in the morning and said, the guy who publicly called me Pocahontas and said I was a fake Native American, I'm going to ask him for a favor and he's going to grant it. There's no way. There is no way you just wake up and do that on your own accord. Somebody not only tapped you on the shoulder, they shook you up, they slapped your husband, then they ate all your chips at your house and put the feet on the table and said, do we have an understanding? And Elizabeth was like, say less. I got this. I've been doing it. Nothing's changing. I got this. All right. Not this time. The buck stops here. Again, united foreigners against America. Why is she trying to go after an incoming president who already says he likes the market and enjoys the technology and things like that? Why are you coming in here to say, no, 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 America don't need this. We need to push back? A, B, why are these articles coming out on the same day? It always happens like this. Whenever you see Jamie the Dino Diamond, you're going to see Elizabeth Warren, you're going to see the SEC or IRS. Like, why does it all happen on the same day? Because they are against Americans. I want to make sure this is super clear. They are against American citizens. They have interests in foreign countries, and foreigners are paying these people to represent them and their interests, not the actual guys and gals you went to middle school and high school and elementary school with. Okay. It's absolutely insane. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm honestly tired of seeing this. But again, we don't need to go into more detail. This is Elizabeth Warren. Actually, I will go to this. Her letter says bad actors are also increasingly turning to cryptocurrency to enable money laundering, sanctions invasion, and to finance major national security threats, such as Russia's invasions of Ukraine. Wow. For one, how is Russia's invasion of Ukraine a United States national security threat? My point exactly. They can't even keep it hidden. They're not representing the United States. People, they can't even hide it. They cannot even hide it anymore that they don't have our interests at heart. Why in an open letter would you mention Russia's invasion to Ukraine and the United States national security in the same sentence? Is this chat? Tell me, am I missing something? Am I missing something? We're not getting gas or oil from them, right? No. Like, we're not getting any resources from them. We're giving them resources. The only thing we get from Ukraine are, like, I'm not being funny when I say this, I'm being dead serious, are women. All we get are women. All right, they're running up and down LA. We get Ukraine and woman. The man don't even come. We just get the woman. Like, what else is the United States getting from Ukraine to have that in an open letter to the incoming president about crypto? What am I missing here? This is amazing. I love doing this. This is why it's so easy to do this, people. Back to this story. Like, I haven't read this article yet. I haven't read this article, which is why you're getting this live reaction. Don't even have to guess. And to finance major national security threats such as Russia's invasion of Ukraine, North Korea's nuclear program. Right, right. Folks, when have we ever been in fear of North Korea's nuclear program? Like, knock it off. China's sale of weapons parts to sanctioned nations. I mean, listen, we sell more. How does Mexico get guns? Knock it off. And ransomware attacks. All right. Here's the deal. If you're listening to Elizabeth Warren and some of these other people in government, they will have you believe that none of these things existed before crypto. That is like the amazing part about this. So I would again, this is why I would love to be in these rooms with these people publicly and ask them these questions publicly, because the first question I would ask would say, okay, so just to be clear, you're telling me that if we get rid of Bitcoin and crypto or regulate it more, then these problems in the world would disappear. There would be no more money laundering. There would be no more bad actors. There would be no more Russia trying to get Ukraine back since NATO overstepped their boundaries. It has nothing to do with the United States, but whatever. Like, all these things would not be happening if Bitcoin and crypto is regulated. Right. This is what they want us to believe. She literally put Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine, and her proposal of why we need a new treasury pick that don't like crypto. I love it. Thank you, Elizabeth Warren, for making it. Listen, you know what? Tom Lee might be right. Maybe he read that story. Tom Lee might be right. If you got Elizabeth Warren and Jamie the Dino Diamond going on and on, how they're going on and on, Trump might come in and be like, hey, 250 whole, hey, buckle up, folks. We going to the moon, because this is as absurd as it gets. And the craziness is about it is that she is a long running incumbent senator who just will not leave. Like, and the even worse part is the people she represents. They all feel and think the same way. Even if it's only 10 or 20 of those zombies, they all feel and think the same way. All right, next, another American, I guess you can say that, agency and set of people who are not here for Americans. I'm calling them all out. Again, this is the UFA, United Foreigners of America today. It's the NYDFS. And of course, if we got New York on it, you already know. Listen, hey, has New York ever been American? I mean, I'm just being for real. We're gonna call it like spade a spade. Has New York ever? I'm sorry for all my New Yorkers. Let's call it spade a spade. New York has it ever been American? New York has a ton of people like California and Los Angeles from every part of the world. Now, what I will say is, unlike Los Angeles, New York population, they really rep where they from as far as whatever flag they still flying. A lot of people in LA, while they come from other countries, they be like, I am in America now. I love it here. Like they love it. They love it. They like, no, we in LA. We in Hollywood. Dreams come true. This is America. You don't see all that flag flying like you do in New York. New York, you're gonna see about, yeah, I know I'm getting some of y'all. New York, you're gonna see about 30 or 40 different flags wave. All right. I say all that to say this. New York as a whole, I think, rarely has the interest of American citizens as a whole and what they do. You see that when it comes to the Southern District, when they just protect banks. Hey, and just let you know, bankers are not here for Americans. Most of these bankers has islands. They have islands. They have condos and apartments and homes in other countries. They're not here for America. So when I look at New York as a whole, and then when I look at New York agencies specifically, Southern District, NYDFS, these type of folks, they never been here for America. Like, look at the names of the people of the agency. Most of the names aren't what you would consider to be a traditional quote unquote American name, if you can even say that, but they are not here for us. I'm calling this shit out today. All right. All right. The New York regulators transatlantic. I mean, listen, it's even called the transatlantic. Hey, I'm doing all this live now. You can't make this up. The New York regulators transatlantic regulatory exchange program would allow the NYDFS to exchange senior staff experience in digital assets with those at the Bank of England. First and foremost, I have to say this. Do we really have senior staff like that experience in digital assets? That would be my first questions. Second question is why? Why are like, does the Bank of England have staff that are expertise? I would say no to both. So why are we doing some weird ass exchange program to which the United States taxpayers are once again footing the bill? How much do you think a transatlantic flight for, let's say, 6 to 8 people is going to cost? Like, let's go ahead and break it down. 6 to 8 people. Let's say we just get 4 and 4 each. Go back and forth. How much do transatlantic flights cost for 4 people from England to the US round trip, and then 4 people from the US to England round trip, then for housing, then for security, then for this, then for that? How much does this cost the American taxpayers? New York Department of Financial Services Superintendent Adrian Harris has announced an exchange program that will allow the regulator to learn more about how foreign agencies handle issues with emerging payments and digital assets. Story time before we call it a day. I think this is the last story. No, we got one more at this. Quick story time before we call it a day. Here's the deal. When I was in high school, my senior year, class president, all that other stuff, student body president, I had all the keys to the kingdom of my school. Going into that year, I had met a lot of friends from different schools. This is when I was in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we basically, really I did, but with their help, we developed a plan where it was like, hey, I know a way we can all go to each other's school during the day or whatever and not get in trouble for blah, blah, blah. And essentially, we created a student exchange program in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it was based like all the cool kids from all the coolest schools. He's like, hey, now we got a reason on Fridays. We just go to, I'll be at West Charlotte one day, might go to Vance another day, might go to Hardin another day, da da da. Everybody's bouncing around to these different schools, whatever. And literally the principal signed off teacher, and they're like, and the way I wrote it up was like, hey, I want to know the different programs and different ways students are doing after school studies, how they're doing things in school, how they do how school works for them, so we can bring it back to our school and add things, and vice versa. They're doing the same things, right? This is all this is on a government level, people. It is literally me once again, but 20 years later saying, hey, how can I write this up so all my banking friends in England, I can get me a free trip to England? How can I go over there and hang out for a few weeks and get them to come back and hang out and vice versa and do it across the world? That is what this is. There aren't any experts at the Bank of England or the United NYDFS when it comes to crypto. Not only that, why is for the NYDFS would you even outsource to England instead of looking throughout our entire nation who has some of the main actual Bitcoin and blockchain developers here? Why would you outsource this? Nothing of this makes sense unless you're just trying to get a free trip and launder some money. That's it. And I've done it before again at a high school level. So don't get to talk to me like I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. This is all they're doing. They want a free trip to see the homies. They want to sip some tea. I got my UK tea over here. They just want to enjoy themselves. But there is no reason why the NYDFS needs to outsource or do any type of exchange program. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. But again, this was a January 13th notice here. It said the Transatlantic Regulatory Exchange will begin an exchange of senior staff experience with digital assets between the NYDFS and Bank of England. According to the superintendent, the program was critical for regulatory harmonization. Again, I just have to ask how. How is, I don't have to ask how. I just told you how, because we're the United Foreigners of America. You're telling me a meeting with England is critical for our regulatory harmonization. I strongly oppose that. There is no meeting with any foreign anybody that's critical to what the United States does. Like, what are y'all talking? People, I know the humans that we can put in a room and get these things done myself. So you're not telling me the government don't know the same type of humans. There is no reason we ever need to partner with a foreign nation to say all of a sudden now we can do what we need to do. No, that is how your nations fail. Whole different story outside of crypto, but you never looked for auxiliaries to empower yourself. That's stupid. So we're going to leave it there on this one. But again, transatlantic, like I said, these people are not here for American citizens. It's about time we start to do something. It's crazy, right? Three people right there. You got Elizabeth Warren, NYDFS, and Jamie Dino Diamond talking about a burgeoning market that's already here as states like Texas and Alabama talk about creating Bitcoin reserves. They're simultaneously saying, no, we need more regulation. We need to slow down this process, and it's still for criminals only. Absolutely insane to see this rhetoric. But what that does tell me is that the pump is coming, baby. This is all a few days before the inauguration. The pump is coming. They're trying to do everything they can to stop it. FUD. And once we're done with that, a little bit more FUD. Last but not least, China may sell TikTok to Musk if US ban goes through. This is what Elon wanted all day. And again, it adds to the title, United Foreigners of America. When did we let this happen? Hey, I'm looking at all the white people this time. I thought the white people did not like immigration. I've never listen. I've never went race crazy. I'm going there today. How is this happening? I thought we was gonna keep this thing black, white, Mexicans, and a few Asians. What is going on right now? I don't know. No, I'm just joking. But on a serious note, this is the United Foreigners of America. As a recent, everybody who's in the know kind of already said, hey, this whole thing with TikTok was an Elon Musk led thing, as well as a Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, basically American companies and social media companies banded together and was like, hey, TikTok is eating our lunch. How can we either get them out the pocket or take it over? This is how we take it over. You've seen it full time. The only crazy thing is, though, we're saying that, hey, we can't allow China to have all this stuff, even though Facebook and everyone else does it. But we'll allow South African Elon Musk to have even more stuff, including the satellites he has in our sky. He might have a finance app here soon. He has a communication app, which is basically like the newspaper. And we're going to give him TikTok. This ain't America. This is not the America I knew and grew up on. Listen, I'm looking at all my Southern Bible Belt folks. The buck stops now. All right. I don't expect California to do anything on this one. All right. I'm looking at my Midwestern Bible Belt folks. When is enough enough? All right. I just gave you 4 articles about foreigners doing business in America, big business, and changing the way we do things. This is absolutely insane. I'm not going for it. I hope you all aren't going for it. All right. If TikTok goes to Elon, cool, whatever, we'll see. But I tell you what, it's starting to look more and more and more like the UFA, not the USA. Hopefully this changes. We'll see. Smash a like and share. I went too long, too many rants. The bottom line is Bitcoin is looking amazing. Crypto's good. Elizabeth Warren can't stop it. Even if Elon get TikTok, whatever. We'll see what happens next. NYDFS is doing a pay-to-play scam where they get to go on vacation for 2 weeks and come back or whatever. And Jamie the Donald Diamond has manipulated the market more than McAfee ever could. That is what it is. Smash that like and share. I will see you all.